kind of were like, oh, well, it's alright then, because pubs are open, so none of this doesn't have to happen anymore. Hi, my name's Emily and I was a shop worker during lockdown.
Okay, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Emily, I'm 20 and I'm from Middlesbrough.
How long have you worked as a shop assistant?
2 years in October now.
How did it change as lockdown came about?
So, before lockdown, so like February time, I was still working in Newcastle in the little shop. We just started getting more hand sanitisers, being told, oh, try and keep your distance from people. And then as it got closer and closer to March, that's when we started limiting people in the shop and we had to like literally count how many were coming in and out. I remember parts of the day I'd have to, instead of being on a till, because there's only 4, I'd wipe down baskets and trolleys and stuff outside instead. That was in the little shop, so when I moved back home at the start of like proper lockdown, that was the biggest shop, so we had people queuing right the way outside. We had to go and stand outside in the car parks in like high-vis. And then eventually, but this didn't happen for a few weeks, we didn't get screens until I'd say end of April time.
Really?
Yeah, because there was always like a delay. So that's when we got screens, and then it started off with 3 screens, then it got to 4, then to 5. So I don't know, I think some of it should have happened sooner. The screen should have been there from day one, really.
Yeah. Did you have any like personal PPE?
So when I was in Newcastle working in the little one, they just said use hand sanitizer. We didn't get given any PPE. They said you can wear gloves and stuff if you want to, but they didn't actually give us them then.
Yeah.
It was only when I moved back home from uni to the bigger store is when they provided gloves, and we had the screens in front of us. Some colleagues got, visors.
Yeah.
But it was mainly the older ones that got them. And they've started providing masks now. But I wouldn't say like a lot of PPE.
No.
But for us it was kind of pointless, because if we touch one lot of shopping,
Yeah.
we've got to change it between customers. So we just kind of stuck to hand washing and stuff like that.
Did you find that like how people treated you changed at all?
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's some people that it's not made a difference to at all.
Yeah.
They're just pretending as if nothing's going on. Some people took it to one extreme where they were like, I'm not coming anywhere near you. We had someone come in a gas mask. This is what you remember when people were stockpiling?
Yeah.
Someone came in like gas masks, the full works. We've had people coming in welding masks, which is fine. But then we get some people, this was about April time, so it was when it was like at its like peak.
Yeah.
One woman come right up and like whispered to me and like right in your face. And then you get some people that take it out on you. So we had a one-way system through the shop. They'd stand there and argue with you, saying, oh, why can't I go this way, why can't I go this way? And you've been told that we're rubbish at our jobs. Some colleagues have been like really nastily abused. It's like we are doing our best, but some people are really lovely and some people aren't nice. We noticed a massive change in work when, I'd say when pubs opened, people kind of were like, oh, well, it's alright then, because pubs are open, so none of this doesn't have to happen anymore.
So because you've been working the whole way through, would you say life has really changed for you that much?
I don't think so, because I've still got that routine of getting up, going to work, coming home. The only thing that's changed is how I work. Normally we'd be really close to colleagues at work, we can't do that anymore, I can't just have a chat.
Yeah.
Even in the staff room, all the tables are distanced, so we couldn't sit together and have a cup of tea and have a break.
Has like having to go to work and stuff, do you think that's been good for you personally?
Yeah, definitely. I think having my routine, I mean it's not totally like what, because normally I'd be used to like uni during lockdown, all that got cancelled. So I think having still some form of routine, instead of just being stuck in the house, almost moping about, it's a lot better than that.
So you started lockdown at uni in Newcastle, and then you travelled home. How was it looking down with your family?
It's really difficult.
Is it?
Because I've lived away for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, I feel like I've got so much more independent, especially you couldn't you couldn't do anything anyways. So when you're stuck with, I feel bad saying stuck, it's like my mum, but I'm not stuck with them, but to see them for a bit, and then as it went on, you're like, I really miss seeing my friends.
Yeah, and it wasn't
stuff
like
that.
Out of choice either.
Yeah, gone from Newcastle to Middlesbrough, there's not a lot to do. Like, I live on a housing estate, so if I wanted to go on a walk, you couldn't like walk somewhere nice.
Did you face any personal obstacles during lockdown?
I think definitely at first, because I've had such bad anxiety in the past.
Yeah.
When it happened, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna go back down to 0 again. Living with friends all year, like, didn't make me forget about it, but it always took like the edge off. Like, it was nice. So it's like, oh, when I move back home, it's gonna bring back the stress of living at home. I don't think it was as bad because everyone else was in the same boat. Everyone was feeling a bit rubbish. You know, when everyone was doing like Zoom calls, that was always nice to see and have a laugh with. And I feel like because everyone was in that same boat, it kind of forced us to be a bit more proactive in doing things. I think I just kind of took uni for granted. I was just going to go there 4 years, crack it out and I'll be alright. I think it was end of February, uni said, don't bother coming in anymore.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, well, now what? But I've still got 2 years left and I don't know how that's going to be because they've already said lectures are cancelled in September. I mean, I had exams at the end of May, but they were all like online. Yeah, it felt like it didn't count. It just felt like I was like cheating a little bit.
How do you feel about lockdown coming to an end?
I mean, for me, I've never felt like it's as bad because I've been going to work. I've never really felt that lockdownness.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how bad it actually is to be worried. And whether that's my own fault or like the government's. I just don't really know how bad it is. If I think about going to a nightclub now, I'm like, no. And like, I'm a student, if I could go to a nightclub, I'd be there like that. It's like fresh as flu on steroids.
Yeah. Were there any positive elements to lockdown for you?
I feel like I've kind of done myself, not like proud, but I thought I was going to be such a stress head. And I was like, I'm going to go back to square one and it's just going to be horrible. And then to be like, oh, actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought I'd be. Oh, when we could go out with, we could go out with a friend at one point?
Yeah.
So when it got to that point, me and my friend back at home were like, well, let's go to the beach. And that's things that I'd never normally have done. And I think by doing that, I've kind of really appreciated being outside. Normally, I'd be like, I'm not going outside, it's raining, it's mucky, it's horrible. It wasn't warm or anything like that, it never is. So to be sat, I don't know, just sat on the beach and just, like, we watched sunset and things like that. We've been going on walks. Oh, and I started doing some home fitness stuff because we were doing the gym before, but then when that got shut, I was like, I don't want it to go to waste. I don't know, it kept me going. It kind of, even like days off work, that kept me in a routine.
And you had your birthday in lockdown. Was that a positive experience?
I think it was really nice because if it wasn't in lockdown, I'd have been like, yeah, me and my mates are just going to go to the pub.
Yeah.
And that'll be it. But because it was in lockdown, I kind of had to see my family, which sounds really bad, sorry. Because you can't go out in big groups. I think spending a lot of time with just one friend has really like boosted our relationship. We feel like a lot closer and I probably spent a lot more time with her than I would have done.
It's like forced you to spend more quality time with people.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there anything that you would tell future generations that you learned during lockdown?
Definitely just appreciate time with friends.
Yeah.
And just appreciate what you've got. Like, I didn't really appreciate seeing my friends a lot because I lived with them, so I was like, well, they're always going to be there. But to have that taken away from you like that, but I do feel like you learn a lot about yourself. Like I said, I thought I'd be a nightmare, but I was alright.
Thank you very much.
That's okay. I hope it was alright. I'm here all week.
So this interview was filmed at the end of the first lockdown, and I want to thank Emily for her patience in me getting this out and also for giving up her time to make this happen. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed episode 3.